Hello, hello. How's it going? Everybody, welcome in. It's Friday. Thankfully. Yeah. Felt like a long fucking week. But alas, we are here. And it's Friday. It's Friday. Never mind. Not looking that bad. Okay. Yeah. I hope everybody's doing okay. With the current recurring heat waves. Yeah. I didn't do any hobbying this week. It's really bad. But now I'm here to do at least a little bit. Yeah. Let's figure out what we are going to do, and then we will go ahead. Let me quickly open my document. All right. Shit, I wanted to look up how to do the glowing blades. We can do this later. We can finish everything else, and then we go ahead and try to make the blades glow. That could be a good thing. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what we're going to do. Okay, I just googled how to paint fucking flames, and I saw my own stream on the search page. But yeah, it's easy, right? Red, orange, yellow. We start with red, paint in some orange, paint in some yellow, and maybe even try to blend it. Sounds easy. Sounds easy. Okay, there's something for the weapons. Okay, this one looks promising. You belong with me. But yeah, how's everybody doing today / this week? As I said, I hope you're all doing good. Yeah, start with red, go to orange. Got it. All right. Oh, by the way, if anyone is interested in decals for the Blood Ravens, There you go. Let me know. I got the sheet today with the White Dwarf, and if anyone wants some decals, I can send them out to you. That is absolutely no problem if anyone's interested. All right, so let's see. We did all the base codes last time, so not all, but most of them. On this one, I could also paint the face while we're at it. You know. So what else we have? We have this one. There's also a tabard, and there's also a tabard. Okay. Good to know. Let's get one where the tabard is a little easier to reach. And then we can... seems to be this one here. And then we can figure out the colors we need. The color. All right. Do we also put some gray on the tabards later? How we paint black cloth. Black robes. That would be his thing, right? Like they put it over gray. And then they use bluish gray for the first highlight. And that's Fenrisian gray. It's also bluish gray. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I think we go for the flames first. I want to try this. Where with my brushes? This one? That's a 3. That's a 1. Do I have a number 2? You got me in a... Nope. That's the only number 2 I got. Okay. Oh, they look rough. But there is soap in there. I can feel it in the brush. Okay, maybe before I get everything going, I might try to figure out which colors I want to use, huh? I think that would be a great idea. Okay. So we paint over black. So I want rather. I don't want to go bright in the colors of the flames, because I don't know how they will work on the black. So maybe those two here are good candidates. What yellow do I have? This might be a good combination, right? I could also, if I try the red color, and I think it's too dark after it dried, I can also always go up in intensity. But I could go up in intensity and smaller in space, so I have a little, gradient, a little, a little blend in there just by stepping down the values. So let's try this first. What up, Dorian? How are you doing? It's going good. We will try to paint some flames on the tabard or the cloth in the front today. So it's the first time. So I'm probably going to fuck it up. But yeah, how are you doing? I hope you had a great week and a great day. Doing good, working on an assignment and listening in on nice. That is perfect. That is the reason why this stream exists, just to have it on the second screen and maybe chat a little bit while everybody's doing something. And yeah, I hope it's not a boring assignment. I mean, it's an assignment, right? So, yeah, probably not going to be the most interesting stuff you ever did in the in your life. All right. Let's see. Put this a little down here. Check the focus so you guys can see stuff I'm doing. By the way, why are you all the way over here? Ah, I got it. Okay, because the lens flare. All right. Now maybe I need a little smaller brush. This is a number 1. What is this? This is number 0. Let's try the number 1 first. I've been meaning to ask, how do you thin your paints? I think that's something. I don't really have a process behind thinning paints, but there is I just try out how it feels. But there is a good video which really helped me about thinning paints from. It's an interview from Tommy Sowell. That's one of the guys who has one of the its own books with the art of miniatures, or art of painting. It's in the Discord, but if you're in the Discord, it's in the painting tips and tricks on how to control your paints. So, but I can also show you that is maybe easier. So the thing is, we don't want to talk about how thin the paint is. We want to talk about how opaque the paint is, right? or rather, you want to generate a statement in your head or while you're working with the paint. So if we go for, let's say, this over here. So if we talk about this paint now, we both would say this paint is too thin, right? This is too thin to paint. This might be the start of a glaze or something, but for a normal base coat, let's say, that would be too thin. So that is the thing. If you are, most of the people do that already. When they're talking about their paints, they look at it and okay, that's too thin. I need to more paint in it, less water, right? And you have to think about that and think about the paint you need for the surface you are currently painting, or the what you want to paint. If you want to glaze, you need more water, and so on and so on. So that is how I go ahead. So if I thin paints, I go down and just say, okay, I need a base coat, so I need the paint to be thinned down, to be smooth enough to run from the brush, but it's not too thin so it dries out immediately, and is too thin to paint like a normal base coat. So now I have this paint over here, and as you can see, this would be a nice consistency for a base coat, and it holds up pretty good. I mean, we will lose some paint at some point, you know. So that would be, for me, a base coat consistency. You know, the term too thin coats. So that is the thing here. And we always have this little reservoir here to pull out some new paint if we want to make a glaze or something else, you know. What up, Solim? How are you doing? The way that I do it is put on some paints on my wet palette and then wet my brush and mix it together. Yeah, well, I use my mouth, like, after cleaning the brush, just to get out the extra moisture. Tommy Soul specifically says that he would not recommend anybody to lick a brush. But if you have a towel, a paper towel, let me show you guys. There we go. Let me show you the setup for a second. So I have this paper towel always here on my side. And this, I always, if I clean my brush here, I always keep one of the sides moist with the brush, you know. After that, I lick it, but so I always have a little moist spot here to, wipe off the excess water and keep it like moist, at least the brush, you know. That's the thing I do with keeping the brush moist. So if you, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little sheen to it, so there is water in it. Of course, we want to keep it moist because the moisture from the brush and from what we have on the palette will be the determine how much paint we get on the miniature, you know. If you go too dry on the brush, there's not enough water to make a smooth coat and help to cover your miniature, right? And one thing also that Tommy Soul talks about is loading the brush. So if you are on the palette, you always load the brush like in doing little C's. You go out, put pressure on and in, and then after that you can roll it to make a tip, and then you got a nicely loaded brush. There you go. And then you have a loaded brush right here to paint. As you can see. So yeah. And by the way, Tommy Soul does not use a wet palette. I think he uses a piece of cardboard or plastic card or something like that. And if you want to know more, look at the video I posted on the Discord, or let's see. Hey, we don't do an ad break while I'm talking. Or go for the art of Tommy Soul. There's a section in there. Or the whole book is practically about how to thin your paints, how to troubleshoot your paints, and so on and so on. He also talks about that in the interview, but if you want to, want it in the book form, there you go. Yeah, there are multiple books of the series of the art of. There's also one from Eric Swinson. There is one from Roman Lappert. So yeah, that's the thing. But that's basically how I do paints, and yeah, you can see here there are some good first coats out there. That looks like Bloodcorn has entered the chat. Welcome in. Okay, that name is long. Manatha? Mano, okay. Welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah, if you're looking for corn and blood, I have to disappoint you. We are painting salamanders today. Hey, Skunky, how are you doing? I am talking Iron for black looks. So yeah, oops, let's change this. Today I want to try to paint some, my tip is slightly bent. I want to paint some flames on the tabards. So it's the first time for me, so if you want something to love, please stay. I most definitely will fuck something up. Don't speak of. Yeah, taking a break from writing. Thought I'd drop in and say, well, welcome in. What are you writing? That sounds interesting. Okay. First brush stroke. Everybody, hold on to your belts. Warhammer fan music. That's sick. It's going to be flames, Solon. At least I'm trying to. Warhammer fan music sounds cool. I really enjoy the stuff that Colin McGuinness does. So yeah. If you have any links to share, if you already posted some stuff or something, feel free to do so. What is going on with the music? Please just autoplay, you moron. Oh, by the way. That's still not working. Ooh. Nice. I'll have a look later, but that sounds pretty good already. I already like the intro of the March Gloria. That's pretty dope. That's sick. And yeah, by the way, Skunky is also streaming. I really enjoy hanging out there. So if anybody doesn't already know them, please feel free to leave a follow. Bro, isn't that his eye moved? Well, he isn't dead. He is. He's like a little child on one of the protective car seats. You know, it's strapped on there, but it can't move. But it's very much alive. So I have to concentrate a little bit right now. That didn't scare me at all. What, I had to concentrate. Hello, Vida! Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you doing? Six months. Holy shit. Thank you very much. Also, everybody who doesn't already know Avila, check out Avila. She's also pretty cool. And paints fucking amazing. I can't do a shout out right now, but feel shouted at. I'm doing good. Trying to paint some flames on the tablet. And I only used one color by now, but it's already looking okay. So it might be my calling, my new profession, painting flames. I see a red door and I want to paint it flames. Huh? For now, it's looking good, but I only used red for now, so let's see how much I fuck up before you say, "Ooh, nice flames." So the first coat was just red. Vallejo red. So I think the next one will be Amaranth red. Which will look something like this. I think it's a good step forward in between. And then maybe I can find a more orangey orange. I have all the correct color descriptions here. Is this a more orangey orange? That's that could be a step, right? Yeah, feel free. This stream is absolutely lurker friendly. You don't have to feel obligated to do anything here. You can just chill out and chat. We have a little game in ad breaks, what's in stream. If you want to play that and go back to lurk, feel free to do so. This is a second screen stream because I know how it is. If you want to listen to some music, put your music in with !SR and then a YouTube link or title and band or singer, and then we can listen to that. Yeah. Feel free to do whatever you guys want to do. In the defined room of the Twitch terms of service. Oh. This song is so good. I found the song back in the days. There was a Disney movie with Nicolas Cage and I forgot his name, about some wizards fighting in New York. And this song was pretty prominent. Yeah, that's the one. I think. And there they made the replayed the song with lightnings in a 13 cage. That was pretty awesome. Ugh. This orange might be orange enough. This time, another perfect. What did you request there? Is it? Maybe try band and title? There you go. It would be funny if it would be the same link now. But yeah, I turned on only music because of the escalation we had in Jace's stream, where White Wolf just we listened to, I think, 2 hours of. There was a video about 2 hours of some wolf furry drama audiobook. Yeah, that was a rough day. Also, White Wolf just put in a fucking 4 hours recording of my stream, so because apparently the song requests also use live streams from YouTube as a source. Yeah, the queue at Jace's stream was like 6 hours at one point then. Well, it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad. It's a fucking banger, that song. I got myself some speakers for my other setup, and I was listening to that song today at least 10 times while I was working. And Man I Need from Olivia, is it Dean? It was a wild combination today. Hey, look at that! Am I a pro? That's not looking bad. Stop it. There you go. Everybody. Yeah, that is still scuffed, but check out the Vila. Still no sound on those shoutouts there. But it's still funny to look at. What the fuck was happening there? I was look like this. Always this Murdoch guy, huh? Oh, that is okay. Okay. Full concentration. I have this song in my head again. What up, Ginger? How you doing? How is it going? Only guy that is bold enough to rhyme masses with masses. Ozzy Osbourne. So always, I'm doing good. So, not same as always, but good. Damn. Not looking too shabby. I mean, if we let it dry, it's looking good. I'm talking about the flames, but thank you, Ginger. Maybe I will need a little smaller brush to make the tips a bit sharper there. Yeah, that's looking good. By the way, for anybody who was hoping I would paint that from the other side too, I'm sorry. So, will the flames make him go faster? At least 2 miles per hour. At least. But salamanders are pretty slow indoor. So that's pretty fast for them. Nice. Do I need to put some white in there? I don't know. Where's my browser? Damn. 2 miles, that's half an inch on the table. Depending on the faction, maybe, yeah. 2 miles for white scars is absolutely nothing. Nah, I'm okay with that. We keep it like that. We don't put anything else on there. Color-wise. There we go. I can live with that one. Ah. Good boy. Bim, 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 bim. It's longer than, well, yeah, it is. To be honest, it is. And my daily dose of sea water. There we go. Ha! Feel like a new human being. Human. Newman. Alrighty. I feel like a real boy. Isn't it also a quote from the cookie guy from Shrek? I'm a real boy. No, Pinocchio from Shrek. Don't mind my heretic brain didn't recognize that one immediately. Man, fuck Shrek. I mean, I would if I could. Imagine waking up every day to fucking Smash Mouth. Living the dream. Somebody once told me. But that's another generation for than Ginger is, right? I'm just going old-fashioned. Well, yeah, that is also. But I don't think that there is an old-fashioned. What is? It's a Disney movie, right? Disney Pinocchio, then, or are you even older and talking about some puppet shows? Because we also have some puppet shows in Germany that also running on TV. I don't know if they ever had Pinocchio in there somehow. Smash Mouth was at the height of my early 20s party phase. Okay. I have a painting question. How do you do the eyes on the helmet? I've been trying to figure out how to do an orange glow, but I've been having some trouble. Give me just a second. And I have some primed helmets, so I'll show you in a second. Let me just use up this brush here, and then we can. All right. You couldn't go to a bar without Smash Mouth playing at least twice. Give that man a helmet. Which one looks good? I need a helmet for all the other guys. First of all, blow off the dust. So, you want an orange glow on your where are my fucking windows? Okay, an orange glow. So, what I always do is, at least for my salamanders, quick side note, those are my first models, my first army, and so on and so on. So I will be talking shit for the next 10 minutes of explanation. Let's see. So first of all, what I use is a small fucking brush because I can't. Ginger, maybe not yours, but mine, yeah. So I need a small brush because I can't get in there. You know, it's easier with a small brush, no matter what everybody else tells you. At least for me. But it's not about the tools; it's about how you use them. So first of all, get those lenses. White. And the thing is, if you have some overspill on some downwards edges, that is absolutely white fully on the eye. Yeah, I always paint the eyes white because then I start layering on the colors and so on and so on. But if you like when we're talking about salamanders, I paint mine with yellow eyes. And if you try to paint yellow over green directly, you will paint for the next fucking 10 hours. I'm guessing the paint should be super thin. No, as you can see, if you go too thin, it will flow in all the edges, along all the edges into the parts that you don't want to be white. But you can always fix this. Just get a damp brush and move that paint around a little bit. So, as you can see, I went too thin with this eye here. And we have a little overspill, but that is not the problem if you want to glow, because you can, if it's too thin, it's just like a glaze. And you can use that also as a base to for the glow. Man, that brush is scuffed. Fuck that brush. There we go. Use a second tip. Use a brush that can hold a good tip. So preferably your Kulinski Sable real hair brushes, if you got some. If you don't have them, use a new or newer synthetic brush. So, let me fill out this eye here again. So yeah. The eye is now filled out with white. As I said, I do it because yellow over green is like fucking shitty to paint. So yeah. Next thing. Yellow green. Yellow green. So yeah, this is the next step for my colors of eyes, or lenses in that case. If we talk about eyes on real heads, it's the same way, but it's even smaller. So mine always look like shit. For anybody who will say, no, they don't look like shit. I don't even have the models here because they look like shit all the time. To show off. Yes, they do look like shit. So, yeah, that's the base coat for me, or the in terms of coats, it would also be the primer, because now I just use the color I want to use. So, yeah. So, let me just paint this, and then I can show and tell. All right. Yes. Now I've painted fully over the white. It is not that visible now because it's yellow. So yeah. Don't know if you can see this, but yeah, there we go. Yellow. Should the yellow be thinner than the white? No, not really. You can use the same. That's the thing, right? We talked about that earlier with your first question. You want to, if you're not sure about how you want to use your paint, make that statement in your head. So the thing is, we have a very small space here, so we want the color to easily run off our brush without being so thin that it runs in all to the recesses and pulls itself over into the other parts, you know? So the statement here would be, I need a paint that runs easily off the brush, but does not flood the parts that I'm painting or flood any details. And now, not letting it run while you're also doing a good copy. Yeah, exactly. And you can always test this, right? If you, let's go in here and thin it fucking into oblivion. If you use your thumb, I know not everybody has like a crevice in his thumb. That's the good thing about fat people. They got this. You can always test it here, right? So this is a good coat that does not run into the crevices of my thumb. So I can use this to paint over the white. If we go to, if I use the brush fully loaded with water, let's see. Ah, shit, you didn't see that one. But let's go with this one here. You see how that paint spreads on my thumb here? So that's too thin. That might be more like a glaze, even though it has too much pigment in it, you know? But talking about the glaze. Now that we have put on the base coat for the islands, we can go ahead and make a very thin thinned down color. So there you go. This is our paint reservoir. You know, see, that is undiluted paint. And over here we have the heavily diluted paint. We can always even go further and remove even more of the pigments here. But the thing with the glaze is you load up your brush and then you tap it on your damp towel. So you remove a little bit of that excess water. And then you can go ahead and see, okay, yeah, that one is a very thinned down coat of paint. So you can now go ahead and paint like this little edge here of the lens. You don't really have to watch the paint here, but generally if you glaze something, you always glaze towards the part where most of the pigments should be, because as you can see, the paint will be stronger at the point where I lift the brush off. See? So always towards the part where you want the most paint to be. If I go backwards, it goes into the other direction. So that's one of the things about the glaze you have to remember or watch out for if you do like big parts. With this little edge that we are currently hanging onto here and painting, it doesn't really matter. You just want to put in it will pool eventually in the recesses, but you just want to put on a little tint of that color that you want the glow to be in. And you will have to do this multiple times if you want to get a nice glow effect. If you're painting on white, it's not that hard to do a glaze. Blacks, on the other hand, will be a little bit harder because you have to build up saturation to make the glaze visible, and everything in between is just a thing of taste and how strong you want your glaze to be. So that would be a little glow on the helmet here. And now you go ahead and use your brighter colors. And you will go ahead and paint less and less of that part. So for the next color, let's get all those next to each other. I would use lemon yellow. Is it this one? Nope. It's this one. Lemon yellow and ivory. Ebony and ivory. So here you go. This is the one I just used. This will be the next color. We will use this to paint a little less of that lens, like 80% of the lens we paint with this one. You can also use this then and also do a little glaze under the eye and on the top of the lens is always hard because if you do a glaze, it will run down, and because it's so thinned down and diluted. And then for the last part, we use the ivory to make this little highlight dot into the eye. And we do this. Let me paint it because I don't want to paint the full helmet right now. Someone giveth me piece of paper, please. This one is paper enough. So if this is our lens, we color in the whole thing in yellow or in your base coat. Then we go ahead and do like 80% of that lens in the next color. You can use as many colors if you want, and as many colors if you can paint, to be honest. And then if you want to use a third color, you can go 80% of that. I don't take any credibility for if this is really 80%, but you get the idea. Or you go ahead and just make this last part the little highlight dot of the lens, the little white dot, like with the recipe I got here. So this would be the biggest part would be this one, or at least everything, and this part here. Then the second part would be this more yellowish color. And then the last part would be the ivory for that little lens. It's not a flare, it's like a reflection in the eye lens. But at this point, we are at so tiny parts. If you are army painting, I don't do that all the time. If I don't have the power or the nerves to paint that, I don't do that. Next thing, I did it on those here. Let me get one where it looks acceptable to show off. There you go. I added the little, there you can see the little white spot on the lens. And also a thing is, if you want to go ahead and make it, make the lenses pop, like with the thing I did with my green. Boop. This is the green I'm currently painting, and this is the green I've painted before. You can see there's a difference in how much the green pops, as the cool kids say. And you can achieve this if you do a glaze of fluo paints. I did this with the airbrush on those. So I used the Della Rowney fluo paint, fluorescent paint, and took the airbrush on the lowest setting didn't pull too much, just like a little coat of green. You can also do the same thing with the lenses and put a little coat, a very thinned down coat of yellow, blue, red, whatever, of the fluo paints on there. So they pop a little more, and did I do it for those guys? No. I did it for this one. And they glow if you use blacklight. That's pretty cool. Nobody else will know but you. But as you can see here, on the helmet, you can see the little, like it changes color. Just like this part here, you see there's a little reflection, and this is the little coat of the small coat or the glaze of that fluo paint. You can see it here on the shoulder pad. So that's the thing that makes the color pop even more. You can also use fluo paints for like the fire, so it also has more intensity in there, and it looks also pretty cool under the black light. But that's how the fluo paints work. So you can see it in action. So that's the explanation. They have fluorescent parts in there. And if you go up close here, you can see how I airbrushed it, so that you can see all the little speckles of paint. But all in all, that will help with making the color stand out even more than if you just brush it. This is the difference. These are the ones I painted right before this unit. When I found the... Oh, no. Never mind. In between, I had the Infernus Marines here. But there's also... You can also see the difference in the color. All right. Let's talk about just, yeah, the knee pads or something, like the leg armor there. And those guys here are just painted by brush, and I used an airbrush for those because it was just easier, and I'm army painting. So if you are army painting and considering to get an airbrush, do it. But yeah. So the same thing, you can use the same thing for like basically everything. I don't know if you know him, but that tip with the fluo glaze comes from AC Miniatures, and I tried it on those guys, and I was like, nice, because I want my salamanders to be more vibrant, more poppy, and yeah, I don't want them to be mistaken for dark angels. So I always wanted to have brighter salamanders than maybe the normal Warhammer Salamanders player. Yes, I am from Germany. I talked so much now. This is more than I talk in a fucking day. Thank you, teacher Dorian. You're very welcome. I do my best. I have no life, so I can spend a lot of time watching stuff about painting. And Dorian, by the way, that's also the same thing I do now for the same thinking process that I do with the flames right now. So I paint the first layer of... this is looking good. I'm sorry, but that is sexy. So I painted the biggest part of the red, then took a different color, painted 80%, took the next color, painted 80%. I could go for white now if you go for like a really bright, hot flame, but fuck that, I don't want to paint white now. So that's the thing, right? You go down, and then you have like a little transition. And if you're talking about the range that you're looking at your miniature, I mean, who of you can tell me now that there are some layer lines in there? You know, I can't even see them now. So it will all blend. If you're painting Golden Demon stuff, don't ask me. But if you paint like tabletop plus or tabletop normal, tabletop, what is it, battle ready, standard, that's totally fine. I've been translating some of my music into German, so I caught the accent. Ooh, that does look good. Thank you. I'm shocked myself. So doesn't happen all the time that I like the stuff I do. But that's the good old imposter syndrome. I think everybody here or everybody doing art in general knows that shit. Like you shake it out. And by the way, if you want any guide for your lenses, what colors to use or what shades you want to you can use, I paint my Sallies loosely after the Mighty Brush guide. So the not the armor base coat, but like the lenses, and I look at them for the parchments, the purity seals, and stuff like that, or leather parts. I take them as a little guide to just not fuck stuff up. Oh, by the way. By the way, Ginger is also streaming, Ginger Beef, and he's also happy to help anybody who has questions. So if you ever have questions that you need immediate answers to, and you see the beef online, you can also get some help there. Also, Ginger is a pretty cool guy. So just leave a follow there. You can and also, disclaimer, I am not the most professional painter. I am been painting for 2 years now, so take my word with that in mind. As I said, I could be telling bullshit there. And if you ever feel like I don't want to paint my miniatures, I don't have time for that, there are awesome commission painters out there. For example, the great Avila TV has a long waiting list. But it is worth it. And if you use the code Dorian, you will pay 50% more than if you don't use the code Dorian. That's the friends and family discount. Nah, nothing will be donated to me. I don't need donations. That's the reason why I raffle away all the Twitch money I get, because I don't do it for the money. I do it to have a place for somebody who comes home and is alone and lives alone, and yeah, they can just put me on the second screen, and if they want to talk to me, they can talk to me. And if you just want to hang out, just hang out, listen to some good music, at least in my taste, good music, and help yourself to some more hobby money while doing that. By the way, the current pot is 120 currency. I still think we can do a raffle on Christmas, or if you want to do it, we can do it also in between. But I think around Christmas, like, everybody can get them a little voucher for their favorite hobby store. I think that could be a good thing, right? We make a huge raffle then, and everybody for the Christmas days can buy some new miniatures and yeah, to paint while hopefully have some time off. I will let's make a poll in Discord and see how everybody feels about that. I mean, I can also do it in the month, but I think it's nice to have a little. It's nice that you can buy yourself a gift then, you know. Give me love. I'll set it on a rooftop. Nice. That's also looking good. That's so sweet. It's just might be sweet. All right, next one. No, standing on a rooftop. All right, this one might be a little bit more trickier because it's very close to the tactical rock there. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, Dorian, another tip: watch your brush if you paint. That's also in the video, but it's also a thing I haven't noticed before. If you use your brush and put it into the pot, rinse out the color, there might be a little water left on the metal part here, and it can form into a drop. And if you paint and paint and paint, it can run down into your bristle and dilute the paint while you're painting. This is also one of the things I have had so much in the past years. It's already years. That I had a drop of water run into the bristle and dilute the paint, and then everything ran onto the miniature. Yeah, that is also a thing that I haven't thought about before, but now I do. So Avila, have you watched the newest episode of Miniature Masters already? Always flood the mini. Yeah, that is the worst when that shit happens, and you don't even notice, and then you're painting like a part with all the recesses, and then it's just fucked. No, just 50 minutes or so. Okay. I really see you in the next season of Miniature Masters, Avila. Even though you don't think you should, but I think you should. Even if it's just to get some clout. Had to talk a lot. Talking while working. I always hate when that happens. I am pretty happy about not having any meetings at work, at least the one in a week. But yeah, let's see how that changes now when corporate takes over. Bear with me. Everything in my job is scuffed right now. But at least I'm getting paid and I don't have to report to anyone, really. That also might change. Fuck it. I hate corporate. Let's say it like it is. I hate corporate. Everything about it. Fucking human resource department. Let alone the fucking word human resources. And then human resources is just there to protect the company and not the human resources. Man, I hate the timeline we're living in. Take good care of yourself. Yeah, by now I'm good. I have all the freedoms I could dream of. But I know how it is. As I said, it's the fourth company and the third sell in 10 years. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So the first company where I
as ordered,
where I did my apprenticeship was
as
sold
ordered,
to another company. Then I worked there. Then that company was sold to another company, and I worked there. Then I changed companies, and now we are sold again. Yeah. Hi, Sea Dragon. How are you doing? Thank you. You are well, staying confident and healthy in your part of. Well, it is hot outside. I think yesterday it was 38 degrees. Celsius, I don't know the Fahrenheit. And on the day before that was like 41 degrees. So, but I'm pretty tucked in here in my fully air-conditioned office, so I survive. I hope you're also well comfortable in your part of the world and healthy. Oh no, not the yellow, I need the orange. And by the way, if anyone out there is using software at work that is absolutely horrible to use, just hit me up on Discord. A friend and I are looking for opportunities to program new software. If anyone out there says, hey man, I use a fucking scuffed software here and there, maybe that's something we can tackle. Preferably any software that is running on the internet. How about Teams? Yeah, I don't touch Microsoft with a fucking trash bag. That's a bright dark angel. That's a pretty white power wolf. How are you doing, Wolfie? Microsoft is the worst software company out there if we're talking about only the software. Fucking bloatware. If anyone out there is using Windows on their computer, I would highly recommend just switching to Linux. SteamOS is now out there to use for everybody who wants to game. It's the same thing that runs on the Steam Deck. And just fuck Windows. What kind of software? anything. My friend and I, he's a backend developer. I'm a front end developer. So anything that runs on the internet, basically. And if you use it and say, man, I hate that so much. Why isn't anybody making that software better? Just hit me up on Discord, and then he and I can talk about it and maybe making a new one for people to use or companies to buy, preferably. This one is a bit harder to paint. Mourning the loss of a local heathland to wildfire, but otherwise not bad. What is a heathland? Heath. I love Microsoft. It's the best. That's tough. How much do you hate your life, Wolfie? What up, Cage? How you doing? Welcome in. Low budget, wild space, a lot of Wi-Fi. Okay, got it. Yeah, but climate change isn't real, Wolfie. So, what are you talking about? There were fucking wildfires before, too. Duh. Okay, that's how it looked. That was beautiful. Yeah. Isn't there also wildfire in France right now? Fucking wreaking havoc on fucking everything. I think there's a European wildfire map. That's now. Yep. Yeah. As of the 29th of July, there are 1,407 fires detected since start of the year. But there should be a fucking wildfire map somewhere. Yeah, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. Browser? That's good. There we go. That is a European wildfire map. So you can see all the current wildfires out there. So yeah, it is pretty bad. And that's in the last 24 hours. Extreme, there's the firepower. Yeah. What is that? Karlsruhe, Germany. There are a lot of hotspots. Okay, fuck me. So, yeah, we are pretty fucked. They had to use salt water from the sea via helicopter so that actually damaged the land more. Yeah, that is. And the thing is, if you talk about wildfires, if they are big enough, they create their own climate above them. So all the hot air goes up and creates like thunderstorms. That would be okay and helping if because they start raining, but the fires then are so hot that the raindrops before can't even hit the ground because it's so hot that they evaporate before they even come close to the fire. So, yeah. But thank God, Elon Musk is the richest guy on this planet. We really needed that. The first fucking billionaire and world hunger and climate change still existing. Thank God. Please don't take away the money from those fucking bollocks. There's that one guy on Instagram, also from Great Britain, that talks about like everything political and explains it to people. And he always says, "But you don't want to look like a thicky dum dum in front of your friends." I really like that guy. That's pretty funny how he explains that stuff. I really, I didn't. By now, I know a lot about British politics. Just because I get all the videos of him all the time into my timeline. I fucked up. Maybe not. You know, I know Count Binface. Yep, and I would vote for Count Binface. It's so fucking funny. It's like that one time, I think, was it in Ukraine or in Hungary or somewhere, where fucking Darth Vader was one of the candidates? A guy in the Darth Vader costume? It's so funny. These. If it's Farage or Binface, then it's Binface. Yep. And even if it's just to be an internet troll, you know, just to be like one of those 4chan guys that trolls all the time, everything like 4chan did with the. There was a voting out there for school in America for disabled children and impaired children and stuff like that. And they were looking for a name, and 4chan, and which is pretty much the more degenerate cousin of Reddit, went on and gave that school some kind of name like Adolf Hitler School of Friendship and Integration or something, and then they all voted for that. It is sometimes the internet is a good place, but sometimes also not so. It keeps it in balance. It's the same thing like in Germany. We have a political party. We have two troll parties. One of them is the beer party, and they want just to party and drink beer and stuff like that, which is pretty funny. And then we have the party that is called the Party or Die Partei, which is a pretty serious party by now because they are also in the European Parliament and stuff like that, and they are telling everybody how politicians get their money and stuff like that. Like if they go to Brussels and want money for the day that they have to be there in the parliament and sit there and be like working, and they just go in there and sign into a book, and then they just go out and take their 500 euros of payment for the day or something. Or that once every half year or every quarter, the office of all the politicians in the European Parliament move from their hometown or wherever they are to Brussels, and they do that multiple times, I think, a year, and they have to bring everything, seats and desks and stuff like that, and it's so unnecessary, and they just put that out there and for everybody to see. So this party. But yeah, everything about, at least, I mean, I think with the British politics are also pretty fucked right now because of all the right wing. What is that? Farage, yeah, that fucker. But yeah, pretty much all Europe went pretty far right by now. Not only Europe. I mean, look at the Orange Man, and I'm not talking about the Lawfax or how it's. I don't know how that guy is called in English. There you go. Next one. Or Lorax. Yeah. But this too shall pass. Hopefully, at some point before thousands of people die. Rupert Lowe is even worse than Ferret. Yeah, there's always a bigger fish, as Qui-Gon Jinn said. There's also our far right problem party there. Well, it's also very funny and sad that the other far right parties in the European Parliament think that the German far right party is so far right that they don't want to work with them. It is so crazy. And then after there was a terrorist attack, I would say, in Germany from a guy who was mentally ill. They wanted to get lists of every mentally ill person or person in therapy in Germany to have a list of them. If Germans start making lists, there's something about to start, I can tell you. And a little bit lower, describe Dunblane as a murder singular, and that's why we can't have guns in UK. It was a mass shooting at a school, and the law said no, never again. I mean, look at America. If everybody has a gun, there are no school shootings. Why would any reasonable human being want to own a fucking gun? I mean, if you're a fucking hunter, if you go out there and hunt your fucking deers and elks and whatever, okay, go out there and get yourself some food. I know a lot of native people in Alaska do it, or anywhere out there. A lot of people are living with the country. And if you have to hunt for your food, yeah, go for it. But the rest of the humanity does not need any fucking guns. I'm rifle trained. I don't enjoy them. I like melee. Yeah, the thing in Germany is it's so hard to get a gun. And most of the people who are fucking going to attack someone are equipped with knives, so that the German special forces or special operations of the police have fucking chainmail by now again, so they are safe from knives for most of their body. But yeah, like, I don't know if you know him, but the YouTube channel Outdoor Boys, that guy has a gun and he hunts the food that he's going to eat over the year. He's hunting his elk, he's hunting his fucking birds and stuff like that, seals, whatever. And he is using that or donating it to the native hospitals and stuff like that. If you have a gun to really, hunt your food, go for it. If you live with nature and with the animals and with the land, and do the stuff you are, take the food from the land you're living on, go for it. The native people in, for example, Alaska, they do it. And if you are in the same situation, I am good with that. But if you go, so that's the only reason why I would say someone needs a gun. But also the native people in Alaska are just using fucking spears to hunt seals. But yeah. It's like the thing, there's a video out there about electric cars and the comparison to fossil burning cars. And there's the argument about how would people argue if we've had electric cars first, and someone would come now and say, hey, I have a new idea about a car that burns fossil fuel and energy that is not renewable, and it works by taking that fuel and oil into a combustion engine and make a controlled explosion of that highly flammable fossil fuel or fuel that you use to move the car. And it has like 250 moving parts instead of the 7 moving parts of an electric car, and it's you can't charge it at home. You have to drive to a dedicated station to fuel up your car, and it's way more expensive. And then he goes on with the argument, and then he says, this guy would have been fired immediately if it was a company pitch or something. Ah, fuck, I took yellow again. I was attacked with a kitchen knife once. Holy shit. Well, looks like it didn't work out that good for them, because you're still here, and I'm glad that you're still here. And whoever attacked you, fuck them. I mean, not in the sexual way, but in the fuck off way. What up, Nurgle? How you doing? Welcome in. Someone slashed at my throat. I punched the blade. The logic being my knuckles so hard at my throat. Yeah. Then his dad kicked his ass before I could. What the fuck? Yeah. It's a crazy world we're living in. But I'm glad you're good. And he didn't get to your throat. It's also way up, right? So it's already hard to catch that one. That reminds me, when I was training dogs, German Shepherds and Rottweilers and stuff like that, for some time I was the guy who was wearing the bite arm, where the dogs have to bite into to train. And all the dogs had to fucking work their asses off to keep up with me, because I'm a tall guy and I can raise my arm very high. And then he saw all the smaller dogs with their back legs struggling to keep up with me. Yes, I trained dogs, at least in that part, the part for where they have to walk on your side and stuff like that. That was other people did that, but I was doing that for quite some time because I was a tall guy and it was quite the challenge for the dogs. I don't know if any pictures of that. I fear not. It was some time ago. I don't have anything about that. But yeah. But yeah, I did some trainings there, I think 5 or 6, and then in the club where I was in, I also did that for a few times. Yeah. Smartest dog I ever trained was a son of boxer plus golden boxer something else mix. Okay, grew up with a pair of German shepherds. They're why I don't have dogs. I love them too much. Couldn't replace him. Yeah, I already dread the day when my dog is going to jump the wire. She's now 11 or 12, something like that. So yeah, she's getting old. Where are my logo bits? There you go. That's her. Well, let's got this one here. BB. Yeah, she placed 13th on the World Championship, which is basically third place because the first 10 are always bought. There you go. That's another one from from one of the championships she won. Yeah. That's her. Love the cool place. Yeah, you teach a little German about what. I was a tall guy, past tense. You got shorter. No, I didn't. Maybe I got a little bit shorter because I got fatter and my belly is pulling me down, and the weight of the corporate world and the world in general. So, flamer incident. Yeah, my neighbors now have a cat, and I'm jealous. I don't like cats. But I don't shame anyone for having cats. They're just too small. Beauty. I have 2. 2 beauties in a pack. Stop it. Can I pet? Yeah, I mean, you could pet. I don't know if I can get her to spiel. But that would be a. But we would have enough space around our cabin watching if I got my dog with me. It's so funny. Once I went with my into the city with my mom and a friend of the family and the dog, and they went into a clothing store, and I was waiting outside with the dog, and you could see like around me, like 50 meters in front of me and behind me, a lot of people were just switching sides of the road and went back on the other side after they went past me. So yeah, that was that was funny. But yeah. Oh, I also have a picture of her as a puppy. I think a lot of you will melt away. Let's find that one. There you go. That's her as a puppy. They're like 8 weeks or 12 weeks old. That's a little floof. And the thing is she's not a normal German Shepherd. She's a long-haired German Shepherd, so she's just more floofy than normal shepherds. There's she running around. She's a cutie. But she doesn't like to be cuddled. Sadly, she doesn't want cuddles. She's just hanging out in the vicinity and respecting your personal space and just wants to be there, and she's not very cuddly. But she at least likes to be pet, so that is a good thing. But she won't lie next to you to be like, yeah, she won't lie on you or really close to you just because she doesn't like it. We had a short coat. Yeah, Duke was an ex-police dog, and Fury was his son. Nice. Yeah, the cool thing is the friend of the family also was in the same club for German Shepherds, and he had an older dog, and we got my dog and a sister of her to. I got mine for free for the exchange to train the sister of her, and the older dog was around and was like showing them how everything works, how kept them in place when they were like fucking around too much and stuff like that. And that was pretty funny. There were once some guys in the street where my parents live, and I lived, of course, with them at that time. And they were running through the streets, and nobody knew who they were. And so one of the like 2 or 3 guys, and then at some point I was watching them between my parents' house and garage. You can look onto the street, and he was just standing there looking at me, and I was like just looking back at him curiously because I didn't knew who he was. And then the 2 puppies came around the corner and were just barking at that guy, and he was starting to laugh and was like, haha, that are small, those are some small dogs. And then after he started laughing, the the older dog, the bigger German Shepherd, came around the corner, noise like with his deep booming bark came around the corner. And that guy, face changed immediately, and he just went his ways. And after 2 or 3 days, people found like thief markings on the houses and on the curb and everywhere in the street. So, and at our house they found the markings about dangerous dogs, don't rob, you know, and that was pretty funny. Albert plans the dog nap of a century. Sure, you could lay on him like he was a body pillow. His dad was more about space, yeah. Correction, you could lay on Furry if you were family. Shepherds have great bark. Yeah, at least male ones. Mine is a female, and she sometimes barks a little high and squeaky. And then we have to remind her that she's a German Shepherd, and then she goes on with the darker, deeper bark. My brother has an Akita called Billy. He's a beast. Akita. Ah, yeah, that's yeah, that's the one that okay, at least Henry Cavill has the an American Akita, I think. 60 kilograms of muscles. It's heavy when he wants. Yeah. I also, when I was training with the dogs and with the bite arm, there was 70-kilogram German Shepherd, or also I think 70 kilogram. That guy was fat. And I had to let him bite and and he already almost ran me over. I was slipping. The ground was wet. It rained the day before, and I was fucking on the ground after he grabbed my arm and flung me around like a fucking helicopter. And then I was on the ground and that was pretty hard to work against. I also on the same day I was training a Rottweiler. I don't know if that's the name in English, but you will get there. And those dogs have such different bite force than German Shepherds. It was crazy. I could feel every single one of his teeth through the arm. It was not hurting, but I could feel every single one because the bite force was so hard and so heavy that yeah, that was crazy. That was, I think, the first and last time I trained with a Rottweiler. Yes, we have Rottweilers. Nice, yeah. They are brutal if it comes to it. American Akita, yeah, that's the same that Henry Cavill got. I know that one. Whoop, there we go. Some more flames. What up, Spider? Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. How's everybody doing? Oh, well, okay, now the ad break starts. Fuck you. How's it going? Thank you for the raid. What have you been working on? I just assume that you've been painting something. Necrons, nice. I've been. I am painting some flames on my tabards right now. So it's the first time, and I'm trying my best. So, but it's looking pretty good. If you have any pictures via Instagram, on Instagram already, or something you want to share, feel free to do so. You know the drill. Oh yeah, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. And also, if you have to raid and run, just do it. Oh, and I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure we are all in the same circle jerk. But for everybody who doesn't know me already, I'm Dorian. Hello. I'm painting salamanders, the best and greeniest boys in the known universe, and there is no second opinion on that one. And I'm currently painting or building a 2,000 point Salamander's army because I want to play Warhammer at some point. And until then, we are painting. Raid alert, because I need to make dinner. Nice, you go ahead. What time is it? Oh, well, it's... I don't think I have enough vegetables, but I can work with only chicken for this dinner. Oh yeah, today we are painting some flames. It is pretty chill, and I think also a good thing for the stream because it's easy to talk and paint for that. Don't have to be too precise there. I have a couple of rhinos with flames on the side. Yeah, I'm still haven't thought about my vehicles and how I want to paint them, to be honest. I have a Land Rider Redeemer. I have a what's the name? Gladiator. I have a Dreadnought, or I have two Dreadnoughts, but one I'm planning for my army right now. But also with new edition, my whole army idea has changed because new stuff is possible with all the librarian detachment out there. So that is a thing I am also thinking about. But I want to finish the stuff I'm currently working on before I start doing anything else. Because I also have to paint all of these guys over here. These are the last ones I need to paint. Then I need to paint some helmets. Vulcan Heston, Adrox Agaton are still up for painting. Yeah. I've got a lot of stuff done in the past. How many months now? 7. Almost starting to go, going to 8. But yeah, I basically started to paint all of those guys here around Eastern. So 35 models, and I'm very slow, and I know it. But It is what it is. As the people say. Ooh, you ordered yourself a workout mat. Holy shit. Now it's getting serious. But do you go gym then, or do you go home gym? If you ordered the mat. Home gym. Hey, home gym is fucking as valid as normal gym. I mean, there are people who have home gyms that are pretty fucking have better equipment than every gym out there. But if you have a kettlebell or some elastic bands or something like that, you can do a fucking great workout. Especially if you're starting out or trying to get back in. Resistance training with elastic bands or body weight training is pretty good. I'm sure we'll be ready for 13th edition. Nah, I'm aiming for 11th. I'm still aiming for 11th. It's maybe not the start of 11th, even though I have a year of painting to leave the stage of early 11th edition. So I'm pretty sure by the end of the year, these models will be at least painted. And I mean, Vulcan and Adrax might be a little more because I want to paint them all by hand and do all the blending and everything by hand. So that might be a little more time, but maybe my progress balances that out at some point. I can be like, okay, I can paint this in 2 weeks or something. I mean, they also don't need to be Golden Demon level miniatures. I don't go for that. But I will take my time and go a bit more into detail with those character models. Yeah, I'm gonna start slow, but I want to try and stay rather consistent. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Not letting yourself talk yourself out of training and keep getting enough sleep to be able to train, stuff like that. I know what I'm talking about. Most of the time, if I wake up at like 2 or 3 a.m. And can't sleep within 20 minutes again, I just go to the gym. Because after that, I'm fucking tired and then I can sleep again. And that is maybe not the healthiest thing to do. But it's what I can do with my limited sleep resources. But I slept rather good today, so that's also why we have to end stream soon. So I can maybe keep that sleep streak going. That would be fucking fabulous. You'll be able to do it for 11th edition. Yeah. I mean, I got 3 years, right? And I got 5, 10, 15, 18, 28. 28 minis already finished. So, and what's left are 5 Infernus Marines. No, 10 Infernus Marines. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Infernus Marines, 1 Eradicator, and then, I mean, after I finished the Blade Guard Veterans. Then Ardrax Agathon, Vulcan Hestan, what's his name? Tech Marine. Tech Marine, and then the vehicles and the dreadnoughts. And vehicles and dreadnoughts, I think that those are the ones I can rock out pretty quick. Because I can just airbrush them the hell out of them. Already answered that already at some point, but what are your plans for the bases? I'm pretty much going for the same concept as those guys here. That is probably the quickest and easiest thing to do. Just some cork, some paints on them, maybe some bits. But the bases will also be a thing like we did with the Infernus Marines, where I tried out the new scheme. These guys here, I will do 1 or 2 and see how fast I can do them and how they feel and how I like them, and then do all of them and in one swoop. Nurgle Matthew, welcome in. How are you doing? What are those emotes? Let me see. Nurgle Keeper, Hydro, nice. How's it going? But yeah, bases. There are also like minis, like those guys here with the tactical rocks, or this special Infernus Marine here with the don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. With the Tyranid body there. They might be a little special because I have to integrate those parts into the bases somehow. But I think for most of the guys, it will be just cork, maybe some resin. That's also a thing. I saw, I think it was El Miniaturista again. He filled the parts in between of the cork things, or the stones, with UV resin and hardened them. I did that before with my intercessors, or at least with some of those. But I think if with the stuff I know now, I can make them look even better than I did with the other ones. And I didn't use resin back then. I used Elmer's glue or Bastelkleber to fill out the spaces, because I mean, it takes some time to dry, but it will also be like smooth, like resin will be, right? It might shrink a little bit, but also resin shrinks if you think about it. So yeah, but that's a problem and an opportunity for future Dorian. I also still want to do one of the Blade Guard veterans as the little diorama thingy on the base where I put the this shield in front of the Astra Militarum guy for one of the Blade Guard veterans, like he's protecting this guy with his shield, like rammed into the ground. Don't know if I can do that with the lava bases. But I also think like red sand bases, like for Armageddon, everybody's doing. I think they also could look pretty dope with the green of the Salamanders. I know lava bases are the typical thing for Salamanders, but I also like the red sand. You know, I think a lot of people call them Mars bases because they use it for AdMech. But yeah, I also like this idea of a paint scheme or basing scheme. Just bright red dusty lands. But I might do that for the space wolves. That could be a good thing too, like the bluish tones for the armor and the reddish tones for the bases. That could also look good, you know. But yeah, I have a lot of stuff in my brain to how I want to do stuff. I also want to kit bash all my librarians and put Age of Sigmar Seraphon hats onto their backpacks. Like with the one, like the Terminator, I clipped this off and put one of the Seraphon hats on there and connected with tubes and like those here, connected to the Terminator itself or the librarian as a kind of channeling device of the fires of the warp. That's why I got from Green Stuff a little kit where you can roll green stuff into tubes and wires and stuff like that. I think that could be also look pretty good. Yeah, but I think about it when I'm there. Just like with the stream today, I didn't know what to paint, but then I went for fire, looked it up, and now we're painting fire. Little joke there. But maybe until I am at the bases, some new fancy way to make bases comes out, and I will be like, fuck yeah, I'm doing that. So it's the same thing as with the Distusha pass. I think it's a good idea now, but maybe future me will say, nah, that's not a good idea or something like that. So a good idea can also be a bad idea at some point if you look at it. So I'm not too fixed on my plans there. And maybe there's a great painter out there, Avila TV. Maybe she will paint some cool bases, and I will be like, ha! I will steal that idea. Still a big fan of the Dino idea. Yeah, it's. I mean, I saw that online somewhere where someone put like a Tyranid head onto his librarian and connected it, and I was like, let's do it with salamanders. To you, I am the Antichrist. Oh, I love Kishibashi. I borrow all your ideas. Hey, you go ahead. You might be quicker than I am with my ideas. And that's the thing, right? There's this term out there. I don't know if you heard it, but if you're in design or art in general, there is this term about stealing like an artist. So stealing an idea, make it your own. And yeah, taking an original idea, changing it up to make it your own, because yeah, everything has been done already, and that's called stealing like an artist. You are not copying just one-to-one. You take it and make it your own. Like, just like with my minis here, I combined the method from El Miniaturista, the glazing with fluo paints from AC Miniatures. Some of the stuff is from the Mighty Brush Guide I still do or use as a reference. The flames now I'm just doing like eyeballing it. And all in all parts together are a uniquer look than all the ideas, just stealing all the ideas and or copying it one-to-one and be like, yeah, that's my mini, and I painted one-to-one after El Miniaturista or whatever. It is part of the learning process of art in general to find out what you like and to tweak things you like into your own ideas, you know. That's what we call using something as an inspiration. It inspires you to create something new instead of just using it one-to-one, copying it. Me and Quick in one sentence. Fish, you fucking painted how many armies this year? Fucking 3? Dance with me. Nah, Combat Patrol in a huge but Custodes army. Didn't you? You're painting White Scars, you're painting Custodes, you painted Grey Knights, right? Last year you painted the fucking Soulbright Gravelords to fucking amazing standard. The only thing you need to do, really, I think that will fucking explode your fucking Instagram, is post some reels. the one of those turntables, put the money on there, let it make around, and post that as a reel. That will fucking explode out there. I am pretty sure you can get your holy placement if you do that. The Granites I kind of pushed away until further notice, but yeah, someday there will be nits, so we can play nits with the Sallies. Yeah! Then you can explain 11th edition to me. Or I come up to your club and we get someone to explain it to both of us. I took some videos, just have to edit. Fuck editing! Just, if you have them on the turntable, post it. Use the Instagram edits app thingy to put on some music and some text overlays, like fucking your link at the end or something. That's what I do. Put my Instagram link behind it and then fucking post it. Also put some stuff on TikTok. TikTok is also pretty good for stuff like that. I haven't posted for a fucking long time and I still get a lot of comments and views on my stuff. Just do it! Yesterday you said tomorrow. Kana can explain it to us well, yeah. He can also judge. Okay, fine. Yeah, well. You better get yourself your holy code. There we go. Some more flames. I think I will paint this this cloth here white, maybe, and put some blood on it. I think that could be a cool idea for next time. Oh. All right. No, I wanted to show them off. Show off what we did today. So I'll get all of them in here to our trusty little cork holder. Hold up. There we go. That's the current state of play or state of paint. Can also get closer, never mind that. There you go. I love Blade Guard veterans. They are my favorite foot soldier model for now, or by now. I love the aesthetic of them. I would, if I'd redo them, I would get some Great Height Studios bits and make them all like Hammer Blade Guard veterans, at least for Salamanders. But yeah. We did the fire on the tablets today, which looks pretty good. I like how it turned out. Well done. Just like you shouldn't order a steak. We also did this one and this one. This one, by the way, is not the Blade Guard veteran. This one is a company champion or something, Blade champion. But I might use him as a proxy. Yeah. So, yeah. pretty satisfied with what we did today. So, as you might have guessed, we will get into the end part of the stream for today. So if anybody out there has someone you want to raid, especially today, feel free to drop some names. Studio Boneless. Do I follow already? I had the name. No. Miniatures. Where? Studio Boneless. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's do Studio Boneless. Let me just duplicate this part here. All right. By the way, the biggest lie in music history, Kurt Cobain saying I don't have a gun. These are the raid messages. If you want to use them, use them. If not, then not. You have your free will. You can do whatever you want. There's one for subs and for non-subs. Also, my Instagram and TikTok links. If you have those apps, feel free to follow me there. If you don't have them, please don't install them. They would take your life from you and make you feel bad inside and out. That's it for me. Thanks to everybody for being here. Thanks for the raids. Thanks for the subs. Really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. It was my pleasure to welcome everybody in here. And yeah, until next time, remember to be good. And if you can't be good, be careful. Bye-bye.